I have a question.
I've been in love with Toni.
You never told me.
Bad rumor. That
I
y'all
was respecting, but I had to go with your
You never told me.
Yeah, it's so good to see Toni and Birdman sitting together and being together, you know.
I did not start there.
I'm trying to talk about them. But just a reminder, I am not planning.
Can you believe this? Imagine getting married, and just 2 days later you're already signing divorce papers. That's not some wild reality show plot. That's real life for Toni Braxton and Birdman. Yeah, the same Birdman who once told people, "Put some respect on my name." Well, that name just got tied down and untied in record time. And here's where it gets juicy. Tamar Braxton is out here low-key dropping hints about why it all fell apart. And baby, it's not just about Birdman kissing Lil Wayne on the mouth. All right?
You all right? Yes, sir. Big Lack, how you doing? Wait, big everything good? My bad. Look, got the whole family here.
No shade, but clearly something much deeper was brewing behind those closed doors, something wild and something messy. From whispers about sneaky moves to talk of strategic marriages, and even those rumors that Birdman might be on the DL, Tamar's been dropping clues like breadcrumbs all over the internet. Fans are piecing it together, wondering if this was ever about love or just business dressed up as romance.
Oh, y'all so cute. Look, don't want that hard line all the time to be soft every now and then.
Why would I have to be soft?
It's putting your guard. I can always overspend the woman that you love.
But I don't have to.
Let's rewind and get into it. Toni Braxton and Birdman secretly tied the knot on August 8th, 2024. No posts, no big announcement, just boom, married out of nowhere. Then, 2 days later on August 10th, Toni marked their separation date. And if that isn't wild enough, 2 weeks after that she officially filed for divorce, calling the marriage irretrievably broken. No explanation, no tears, just pure confusion and chaos. No screaming match, no social media meltdown, just cold paperwork. Filed. Done. Quiet. Clean. Finished. But hold on, here's the twist that shocked everybody. Months later, Toni dismissed that divorce filing. And guess what? Birdman signed off too. So what's really going on here? Were they secretly patching things up, or was that marriage just for show from the very start?
Okay, you're engaged. I'm engaged. He did good, right?
Well, right? Very well. Take a day.
But there's no date. There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values, and we were going through a little drama, and I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all of the sisters together.
Tamar Braxton hasn't flat out spilled the tea yet, but she's been hinting, and baby, those hints are spicy. She's basically saying Toni should have never walked down that aisle with him in the first place. And honestly, she might be onto something, because this Toni and Birdman situation has always been confusing as hell. They've been on and off since 2016, and even when they were on, it still didn't add up. They just don't fit. Then in 2018, Birdman dropped to one knee with a $5 million yellow diamond ring. Yep, you heard that right, $5 million. Flashy, dramatic, and totally Birdman style. But guess what? The wedding never happened. It kept getting delayed, postponed, rescheduled, you name it. Toni said it was just bad timing, but fans weren't buying it. They were saying, girl, he's not the one. And then boom, the biggest red flag yet. Toni lost the $5 million ring on a flight. The bag turned up, but the ring? Gone. Like magic. Poof. And instead of flipping out, Birdman just shrugged like it was no big deal. That's when everyone really started side-eyeing this whole thing, wondering, wait, was this relationship ever even real? And honestly, I'm sitting here thinking, was that ring even real? Because come on, $5 million isn't something you just sneeze at.
Treasured piece of the jewelry, that $5 million engagement ring from Birdman, honey, just gone, honey. So Toni Braxton is trying to get her engagement ring back. Now, on one of the questions I want to know is
By 2019, things went left again. They unfollowed each other on Instagram. Birdman posted a shady, "it's over" message, then later claimed it was all for publicity. Like, excuse me? Was this love story ever real, or were they filming their own reality show without telling us? And now here's where things get even crazier. Tamar Braxton apparently knows exactly what went down, but she's keeping her lips sealed just tight enough to drive everybody insane. Still, her cryptic little hints have fans doing detective work all over social media. Let's rewind to that divorce filing, though, because Ms. Toni did not play. She filed just 2 weeks after saying "I do," and in the paperwork, she described the marriage as irretrievably broken. That's lawyer talk for, this can't be fixed. Period. Here's the strange part. There was no drama, no screaming match, no cheating scandal, no messy headlines, nothing. It was like Toni woke up, looked around, and thought, yeah, nah, this ain't it. Then, months later, she quietly withdrew the divorce like it never happened. 1 minute she's saying, "He's not man enough for me," and the next she's acting like she's ready to stand by him again. So, what really went down during those 2 wild days after the wedding? Fans believe something serious must have popped off behind closed doors, something that flipped the entire situation upside down. Because let's be honest, it's giving cold feet mixed with deep regret. And if you listen to Tamar's tone lately, she's making it pretty clear this wasn't just a bad decision, it felt calculated. She hasn't spilled every detail yet, but baby, she's dropped enough clues for the internet to start connecting every messy dot. Tamar didn't hold back either. She threw shade about how some women settle for safety instead of real love, and in another post hinted that some people try to lock down partners who clearly aren't ready. Woo. That hit close to home. The internet wasted no time putting 2 and 2 together, because who else could she be referring to but Toni and Birdman? Now fans are asking the real question. Did Toni marry Birdman at a vulnerable moment? Maybe it wasn't about love at all. Maybe it was about security, protecting her estate, or simply wanting someone by her side during tough times. Some folks online even believe Toni might have nudged Birdman into the marriage, and Tamar's quiet little reactions make it seem like she might agree. When you look at the timeline, everything feels a little too neat. Quick wedding, quick breakup, then silence. It's giving get in, get out, keep it quiet. Almost like she wanted that last name attached to hers for a little extra power. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, because the internet never lets this one go. Every time Birdman's name pops up, someone brings up Lil Wayne. Wheezy F, baby, please say the baby, and those infamous public kisses. And not just once, multiple videos from different years. Some say it looked brotherly, others thought it seemed a little too affectionate. Now, we're not judging anybody's choices, but in the hip-hop world, it definitely raised eyebrows. So when Tamar started hinting that Birdman's loyalty might not have been what Toni expected, the internet went wild. Rumors exploded. Was Birdman secretly living a different kind of life? Could the marriage have been more about image than romance?
Because that's what I'm going to do.
She happy. I ain't got money because I'm going to make sure that. So what's the problem with you and me?
Nobody knows for sure, but fans speculated that Toni might have been more of a partner in a strategic arrangement than a traditional bride. Because let's be honest, nothing about this relationship ever screamed fairy tale. From the rushed timing to the awkward energy, it always felt more businesslike than passionate. Now here's where things get real. Toni has battled lupus for years, facing serious and even life-threatening complications. When you're living with a chronic illness, things like money, estate planning, and legal protection become crucial. So fans started wondering, did Toni marry Birdman to secure her family's future? Maybe she wanted to make sure that if anything happened to her, her loved ones would be safe financially. It's not a wild theory. Birdman has money, influence, and he supported her through some of her darkest moments. Toni even said in an interview, "Every night he'd ask me, 'Are you okay?'"
Never a minute. So Bird, we got to get right to, the business at hand. You don't do a lot of interviews. Can you talk closer to the mic for me?
Never have.
Yeah, and
So maybe, just maybe, this union wasn't about passion at all. Maybe it was about peace of mind. A move for stability, security, and control in a world that never stops being unpredictable. And Tamar has dropped her own quiet hints about that, too. She's said before that Toni has always been a sharp businesswoman who knows how to handle her affairs. So what if this marriage was just another smart, strategic move? Was it love or survival? And we still can't forget that mysterious $5 million ring that vanished into thin air. That moment alone has fans scratching their heads years later. After that 2018 engagement, Toni boarded a flight and, well, what happened next only made things look even more suspicious. Somewhere mid-trip, that giant engagement ring disappeared. Toni said the luggage was found, but the ring? Nowhere. Gone. You'd think losing a $5 million diamond would cause the meltdown of the century, right? But not Birdman. Oh no. Mr. Gucci suits and pimp towels himself stayed completely calm. Didn't panic, didn't yell, didn't even look irritated. He basically told Toni, "It's all good. I'll get you another one." And that's when fans collectively said, "Hold up. Wait a minute." Because who shrugs off a $5 million ring like it's a lost AirPod? Even that hurts the pockets. That's when internet detectives clocked in. Was the ring real? Was the engagement real? Was the whole thing more PR than passion? Because after that moment, the energy between them changed. It felt like a silent turning point, like maybe neither one of them was really invested anymore, if they ever were. And this is where Tamar's little clues start making sense. She has hinted more than once that Toni was never deeply in love with Birdman. Respect? Yes. Care? Absolutely. He stood by her during lupus battles, heartbreak, and loss. But that deep, soul-moving love? Fans never saw it. Even in photos, Toni's smile often stopped at the surface, poised, polished, but not glowing. It looked less like romance and more like gratitude. People started wondering if the whole connection was built on convenience instead of chemistry. Toni played things extremely close to the chest. She dodged every wedding question like it was a trap. And anytime someone asked about Birdman, she'd go quiet or change the subject fast. Her Instagram posts with him were rare and later deleted, like they never existed. She wasn't exactly showing off a fairy tale romance. Some fans thought Toni was emotionally torn, still tied to her past with Carrie Lewis, focused on motherhood, maybe feeling pressure to settle with someone who looked good on paper, and according to Tamar, Toni was trying to force something that wasn't meant to be. Now let's lock in this timeline, because it's wild. She married Birdman on August 8th, and by August 10th, they were already separated. That's not cold feet. That's sprinting out of the door in heels.